Thank you to our sponsor, EJ Cards, a small but motivated company specializing in cards. EJ Cards believe passionately in great bargains and excellent service, which is why they commit themselves to give you the best of both. If you're looking for something new, you're in the right place. EJ Cards strive to be industrious and innovative, offering customers something they want, putting their desires at the top of the priority list. Find EJ Cards at www.ejcards.com.au.
Welcome everybody to episode 88 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson. The NBA Finals are here. Russell, how are you doing today?
Very good, mate. Very, very good. The first game was probably a little bit of a letdown.
Predictable?
Well, actually, Miami have had such a good record in game one.
Yep.
And on the road, there was a piece in the back of my head where I was like, they're going to come out and, shake them up. But geez,
they're
dominant.
ready. The Nuggets are ready. I think
They
Draymond
were so
Green
dominant.
said something about them. Like they've had their breakfast. They're not playing with their food. They are championship ready. They are not mucking around, and they're going to take this. Look, Miami's still in it. There's only one game down, but
there's two very competitive teams playing. Yeah, you definitely can't rule out the Heat.
You can't, correct.
Yeah.
But on paper, I would not be backing against the Nuggets at this point.
When you mean paper, you mean gambling, right?
No. On paper, like statistically, the Nuggets are just. But if I was gambling, I would be betting on the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I would not be backing Jimmy Buckets, and I'm sure there's plenty of Miami people that are like, we're just glad we got here. And then who knows? They've got their backs against the wall. Every time that happens, crazy stuff ensues. So like people step up. We've had some amazing games from Miami in the playoffs. So, I mean, I was on a friend's pod the other day, and the prediction was they didn't get the gentleman's jacket on for us, the Lakers. I don't think they'll be getting the gentleman's jacket on. Maybe Jimmy can get one at home. I think the Nuggets in 5.
Okay.
On the King's birthday in Australia. No, the day after. Bugger. I don't get to watch any of these games.
Not live, anyway.
Not live. It's like they're all work days.
Thank goodness for League Pass, right?
Yeah, but it's like every 3 or 4 days. Like they're really spacing it out this year.
Yeah.
No load management. They just give lots of breaks.
I probably prefer that, to be honest. I'd rather actually see people at full strength, giving them enough rest within the schedule, and then just seeing the best basketball you possibly can see.
Yep.
And I actually think the rest benefits both teams because, Michael Porter Jr. has got injury history. Jamal Murray's coming off that injury.
True that, yeah.
The amount of minutes that Joker's played this postseason, I'm sure he's enjoying the days off. So, and then...
Oh, look, I'm sure he's planning the championship parade at this stage.
What's the rotation Miami's playing at the moment? 7 guys, something like that. That's insane the amount of minutes they've been playing. So
they've got their stuff, yeah.
It's been awesome. Look, I'm really happy to see both teams. I think for me, this is almost like a League Pass sort of wet dream, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's
I can imagine Adam Silver just literally banging his head on the table thinking, we could have had Lakers Celtics and now we've got Heat Nuggets. The fairy tale I don't think is there for the NBA at all.
No. And what were the jokes? I think we've mentioned the joke that they were going to suggest that we have a playoff for third place this year, just so we get a Lakers Celtics playoff.
It would probably get more ratings than
that's the
Denver.
Funny part, right? The ratings, everyone would say that's ridiculous, and then everyone would watch it. Oh well. What are we going to kick today off with?
So I think today's episode is going to be very NBA Finals focused. So we're basically just going to be talking about
it's a pretty reasonable
threads in and out and around the NBA Finals. So I think we'll start off with our friend Eric Whiteback. At Eric Whiteback.
Is that Eric that hasn't come on the show yet?
I suppose I can't really call him a friend of the show, can I? But it's more my love for Eric's content that I'm
Eric has regular appearances on the show. We still would like Eric to join us one day. So Eric, come on, mate. Come on.
So he does do very thoughtful content. So this post is the top 10 players in the NBA Finals with the most expensive cards.
Yep.
So starting at 10, Aaron Gordon at 5K. Kevin Love at 6, Kyle Lowry at 6.7, Bam at 8.8, Udonis Haslem at 9.6. So that's an exquisite RPA, which is why it's up so high. Jamal Murray at 16.2, Jimmy Buckets at 28.8, Tyler Hero at 30.7, Michael Porter Jr. at 60K, and then the Joker at 61.2. So
There's a little bit of common sense at the end there with the Joker at number one, right?
but in between 10 and 9, for me, there's not a lot of common sense. So how would you rank this list, Ad?
Number one, I agree with.
Yep. I'm in
And that
agreement with
and
that.
that's it.
Absolutely.
Actually no, down the all right. I'll go through my rankings because I've had a look at this. It'll be interesting if we do. Do we want to say what our number 10 is at the same time, or do we want to go through the whole list? Because I've got 10 to
We can
1.
do 10 together if you want, sure, but then you go through your list. How about that?
Spoiler alert:
Sure.
Jokic is my number one.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway,
Yeah.
at number 10, I've got Udonis Haslam.
Yeah, I had Haslam
Like
too.
how long has he been in the league?
20 years now.
Yep. And look, it's great. He's a good locker room guy, but yeah, I don't know. $9,600. I get it's because of the card, the branding of the card, not the player that holds the price tag. But yeah.
Look,
It's
I think if I had that much money to spend, I don't actually mind this purchase because, he's really the epitome, the culture of Miami, all those words he
yeah.
can sort of use around that. So,
Mhm.
if you're a massive Heat fan and you've
Yep.
been going the last 20 years, like you would have seen a lot of, this guy. So,
All right. Number 9, I've got Aaron Gordon.
sure.
So look, he's popped himself up one spot.
Okay.
Yeah, look, hobby wise, Aaron Gordon doesn't sing and dance to me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go. So I'll do the countdown. In number
Sure.
8, I've got Kyle Lowry.
Sure.
Number 7, Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that 30K commiserations. I just don't think you're getting your money back. In number 6, I've got Kevin Love, and I don't know. I was umming and ahhing between 6 and 7.
It's a
Actually,
really funny activity to do. It's actually a lot harder than what you think. Yeah.
but Kevin Love has had a very long career and has tasted quite a bit of success. Was a key
Yeah.
part with our lovely friend LeBron
Yep.
from Cleveland. But
Good guy, definitely.
yeah.
Rebounder,
Then
shooter, outlet passer.
number 5, I've got Bam. Probably just more about recent success than anything that I've got 4 and 5 in the order that I do.
Yeah.
Number 4, I've got Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, okay.
And that's just because the Nuggets have been on a tear, and I think he's been a key part of that.
Sure.
Whereas, yes, Miami has been a key part and Bam's there, but I just don't think it's as prominent as Michael Porter. I think he's a very important player to Denver's big three. Speaking their big three, number 3 is Jamal Murray.
Okay.
And I do think over time that Murray's card is probably going to move to number 2, to be frank, after what I've seen of Murray these playoffs. Number 2, Jimmy Buckets, and then Jokic in number 1.
Okay.
How
So
about
I
yourself?
might do my list backwards because it'll be easier for me to explain my choices.
Sweet.
And we had a couple of differences. So Joker at 1, there's nothing
No
about
doubts.
that. So I've got Murray at 2. And the reason I did that, I was
Mhm.
tossing up between him and Butler is because I'm pretty sure Murray's going to get a chip. And I
Yep.
think that's going to positively influence his card value. Whereas Butler, I feel like is going to be maybe one of those guys that's like so close but never gets there. So the
He's
Karl Malone, the John
always the
Stockton,
bridesmaid, never the bride.
the Charles Barkley of, maybe our generation, right? Then
Yeah.
number 3, I've got Butler. And for me, like the top 3 was, very easy. And 2 and 3, I'm happy if they were switched around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now at 4, this is probably the biggest difference that we had. I put in Aaron Gordon next. And
Wow.
yeah, so a little bit of this for me is I actually think this guy's criminally underrated and undervalued in the card hobby world.
Yep.
And I'd probably also say a little bit too that, again, with him winning the chip, he's going to be on TV. Maybe this will help, boost him up, and long term that would sort of be there. Now, the next one for me was I was tossing up between 4 and 5, and I put in Bam next. And
Yep.
again, I would put him in that same sort of thing. Super skilled guy, probably undervalued, underrated in the hobby.
Yep.
Then my next pairing was Tyler Hero or Michael Porter Jr. I went Tyler Hero first because I'm very, very concerned about the pump and dump with Porter Jr. that's happened over the years.
Yeah.
And then the second thing too is, and I feel this way about the Nuggets championship run this year, a little bit of this is all the stars aligning for them perfectly because for me, Michael Porter Jr. is just like one back injury away to being on the shelf again for one or two more
It's
years. So
literally
yeah,
like a house of cards
yeah,
has just become indestructible at the right time. Like,
absolutely.
y-
They gambled on injury health, and it's paid
yeah,
off, in championships. So like A plus for them, but at the same
yeah,
time, that still is the thought in the back of my head. And then
yeah,
8, 9, and 10 then becomes Lowry, Love, and Haslam. So
yeah.
actually, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Lowry, so I put him in next, and then Kevin Love and Haslam. So that was my one
Nice.
to 10. Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting, experiment with, especially with top 10 lists, just in general. People tend to,
Maybe we can put this up, and then people can put their own top 10 list up, and they can have a crack because
yeah.
bit of a fun one. Yeah.
I do like I do like the odd. Here's a top 10 list.
Yeah.
How do you perceive it? Like, how
Make
would you
yours.
order it?
Yeah.
Yeah, your version. Love it.
So I think the next big story is Caleb Martin. I think this guy has been playing absolutely out of his mind. And from somebody that was an undrafted player. And if you look through his basketball reference page and you go through his transactions, he was waived by Charlotte. Not traded,
Yeah.
not signed and traded, nothing. And even when he joined the Miami Heat, he came on a 2-way contract,
Oh,
which
really?
essentially is like, a G League affiliation. I would also hazard a guess. It doesn't actually say, but I would say he went there on a non-guaranteed contract. So then
You reckon?
I would guess. I couldn't imagine that they're signing him to a 2-way contract that's, fully guaranteed. He was then
Mm.
converted into a full-time contract in the NBA. That was in February 15th, 22. And now
Yep.
he's on a 3-year deal as of July the 6th. So for the next 3 years, he's on like 6.4, 6.8, and 7.1, which is an absolute
Wow.
bargain for a guy like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think what do you take away from this, playing that he's had, how do you translate this into card value? He's 27 years old, going into the peak of his career. He can argue that the next 2 to 3 years is going to be, the best basketball he's going to play. Does this make him a buy at the moment? Looking at eBay, there's a lot of action at the moment on him. So probably what my concern with him is that you're buying essentially
Mm.
at the peak. So
Yeah.
is now the right time to jump in? Or you say, well, now is the right time to jump in because over the next couple of years he's still going to go up. And can I be honest with you? If you argued with me either way, I probably wouldn't have too big of a deal
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
The only thoughts I've got about this guy is he doesn't have a Prism rookie card. He does have a
Mm.
card from 2020, which would have been his rookie year, but it doesn't have the logo on it. And funnily, you pointed this out off air. He does have a Prism rookie autograph out of the
Yeah.
same year, which is
It's
like super weird.
which is
Yeah.
phenomenal because it's got the rookie shield and it's got an
Yeah.
autograph
It's really
and it's
weird,
the
isn't
same.
it?
What
Yeah.
Prism?
It's such a Panini thing to do, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's interesting though. Does that make the rookie auto more chased? And I know we don't like to chase Prism autos on the regular. It's not the most popular of autograph cards, but
No, I think that's exactly what it means. I think that cards you wouldn't normally chase are now going to be chased a lot
yeah,
more. So, for
yeah.
example, Chronicles, he's got a lot of autographs in that.
Mm-hmm.
The heat that's been on those with eBay is 10 times what you'd see on
Mm,
LaMelo Ball. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
crazy.
So the one that I actually identified, which I think is worth a look at, and you to do your own research onto, is his Spectra cards, because
Yeah.
I think that set, obviously they're beautiful cards, and I think they're more aesthetically pleasing than Prism, frankly. But I think also importantly for the collectability of this guy, it has the rookie emblem on it. So at the moment, there is one on eBay. Probably by the time this episode goes live, this will be a bit of a moot. But with 12 hours left, it's currently sitting at $33, and that's numbered to 10. So,
Wow.
we're not talking huge amounts of money here, but at the same time, so his silver Prism autograph rookie card went for 34 USD, which is
Yep.
probably what you would expect for someone to go for at the moment when they're on a bit of a heater.
Mm. Mm.
And then the other one I've been looking at is just like the Chronicle ones. And again, they've been going for sort of between, 25 and sort of high 30s, for an autograph. So look, I don't think those prices are outrageous. So I'm not saying
Yeah.
don't get on it now, but at the same time, I would probably keep in the back of my mind this is a little bit of a tricky time to be, to be buying. How do you feel about Caleb Martin as a prospect overall?
I do think the age is an interesting one.
Yeah,
And the fact that he has been sort of delisted. So, you know what I mean? Like, he's been waived previously.
yeah.
If he goes into the void, so to speak, as far as his stats, does Miami just go, whatever? Do you know what I mean? Like, post contract, does he just. Is it a flash in the pan, or is this is this real talent? Is the question.
I don't think what he did was a fluke in that Boston
Okay.
series. Yeah. I think either you're skilled or you're not. And look, I think we've said this so many times. Well, I've said this so many times now. It's like the NBA is more about opportunity than sometimes than skill. And
True.
this
Yeah.
guy's walked skill into opportunity,
Yeah.
and this is the outcome. And
Does he embody Miami? Like the way the Heat are, backs against the wall. This is literally his career, right? His career was back against the wall.
the person that comes to mind for me is back against the wall is Jimmy Butler. I love that guy in terms of his never say die attitude. The thing about Caleb Martin that goes to mind for me is prospecting the G League. Like this guy
Yeah,
was,
true.
in the G League, doing all the hard yards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's probably the thing that, really comes to my mind. And also maybe just NBA prospecting.
Yeah, true. Just prospecting in general. Like
Yeah.
looking for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Watching hoops, okay, this guy's coming around. Look, clearly I've missed the boat on this one, and I'm definitely too late to
When
get this.
do you pull the trigger? Are you watching? Do you like watch a game and go, I need to buy these today?
So I'm pretty particular about this in terms of like my PCs. Like
Yeah.
Fox is my absolute main PC, and
Sure.
I bought him because I liked his game. I thought he was more skillful than what his price is for, and I'm sticking with that.
Yeah.
Halliburton was the same, and I like Davion Mitchell too. That was like,
Okay.
and so after that, when you start to get into, your niche, like sort of side PCs, Zeke Naji, I quite like that. I think he's kind of a sneaky dude. And
Yeah.
actually, Jalen Smith is quite a sneaky guy too. So
Yeah.
how can I say it? Yes, if I see guys who I think are like pretty skilled and, it's worth sort of a bit of a,
A punt.
a sneaky one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm not talking about PC and collecting a guy. I'm saying you're watching a game on League Pass. You're looking at going, geez, this guy's got some hops. Is this just a one-off game, or is this actual talent? You watch them again. At that point, do you pull the trigger? Like when you go, you look on eBay. So we'll use Caleb Martin as the example.
Maybe I used the wrong word there, because when I say PC, I'm also happy to sell like my side PCs too.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. Like, I'm like, if I'm prospecting on a player, like, and we'll say I'll use Caleb Martin.
Yeah.
If I'd have seen him go off 2 weeks ago, which is around the 20th of May, at that price, his cards were selling for $2.50. His silver prisms, right?
Yeah, we missed the boat on this. Yeah.
Do I on that game, like there's a game there where I'm just sitting there going, that's not a fluke. Jump onto eBay. And based purely on the fact that the cards are worth $2 to $3, go give me all the silver prisms.
So I would have said yes to that a million times over. The only reason I say no to that now is because it doesn't have the rookie logo on it, which is, I think, why you need to look at Spectra. You need to look at, in this instance, Chronicles. Like, I can't believe I'm making the recommendation to people to look at Chronicles, but, in some instances, and we've spoken about this with other people, not everyone has a Prism rookie card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I've got a second player, but we'll talk about them later.
Do you want to talk about them now?
Derek White.
Okay. Let's talk about Derek White. Tell me your Derek White take.
I like this guy. 12 months ago, we were talking about.
Yeah, sure.
I was on him saying, Spurs product, kid can ball. Yes, he's a role player, but do you take a dabble? And he's done it again with that game winner. The 27, like the card ladder shows the spike from, what have we got? $33, $45.
Yeah.
$85.
Yeah.
$37. 37's after the Celtics were eliminated. I just thought I'd repeat. The Celtics were eliminated. Yeah, and then we look back 12 months, and it's happened. It's do you know what I mean? Like it's such an up and down kind of player. Is that what prospecting is all about? Like for these role players that like they catch people's eye, and you snap them up, or you've got them on hand and you look to flip
I think by now
quickly.
we've established a pretty good pattern about buying and selling people at the right time.
Yeah,
And I think maybe Derek White is exhibit A of buying and
yeah,
selling somebody at the right time. If
yeah,
you look at his 3-month trend, you could have bought him anytime, realistically in the last like 3 months, with the exception of that $80 sale,
yeah.
and then, flipped it around that time. But I think the other thing
Mm,
too is if we're being honest about this, there's what 5 or 6 sales, but there's only one sale where someone has like cashed in and made double or triple, right? So
yeah,
it's actually quite difficult to
yeah.
do.
You're not going and buying 30 Derek Whites and then trying to flip them all, right?
And being honest too, because if just say you had a 1 week listing on eBay, you didn't actually know he was going to get that game winner 6 days out, right? So I feel like sometimes we're like
They're
gamblers
the ones where
and
you
only
sit
tell
there.
people about their wins.
It's true, but you go. Is that the time where you go through the box of rookies you've got?
Definitely,
Do you know what I mean? Like I personally,
definitely.
anything with a
That's
rookie shield on it, I
He
keep.
hits a game winner. That's the time to sell Derek White. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm never alert to it because I have to go through the whole box of rookie cards. But
yeah,
I've got them there, so if I'm motivated at that time, seeing that thing, I go through and go. I think I've got a silver prism, and just
yeah,
go through.
yeah.
That's the time to sell, right?
So
Because your $2 card goes for 20.
why don't we change up the run sheet ad? So now we've done the intro on Derek White. Why don't we do the conference finals losers and we'll run through that. We'll just continue with that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
cool.
let's.
So let's talk about Jason Tatum because I've got a bit of it's not a hot take, but I've got a
You
bit of
have
a
a
take on
take on
this.
Tatum.
So I think every person that was buying up Tatum, hoping to flip him in the finals, will be now dumping them. So I say
Ooh, I like it.
in the
I
next
like the
couple of
take.
weeks, watch the prices on Tatum. If you're a true Tatum believer, you're an OG collector, hold tight for a couple of weeks and see what you can pick up over the next, 2 months, 3 months, because my gut feeling is there's going to be people that,
Mm.
bought into this guy
Okay.
and now they'll literally be looking to just dump. So in the last 2 weeks, he's down
Mm.
10%.
He's over the last 3 months. He's down 36%.
That's actually shocking to me. That is actually shocking to me because I would have thought
He was leading
with
into into the
that run
playoffs.
into the finals, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe sometimes with the bigger, and this might be an interesting take from me, but the higher end players, like the stars of the game, their market doesn't change as rapidly. So if Tatum puts on a string of bad games, you don't see it in the sales straight away. You see it a little bit after, like it dribbles away.
Yeah, sure.
And then when
Yeah,
he puts on a big run of 40 and 50-point games, it
yeah.
doesn't spike again, but people start to think about it.
Yeah. But just take that 3-month sample size for a second, because this is not the first time we've seen something like this. Like, I think last year we saw this with Joker actually in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder a little bit too, is like, I wonder if people wait for the playoffs to, put their cards up because there's a few people with that same idea. Actually, the
Mm.
market doesn't respond as well as, what you would think.
And you're like, oh, he just dropped 50 in the playoffs. I'm going to put this card up for sale.
There's
And
10
everyone's
other
like,
people with the same card. Yeah.
we're too busy watching the playoffs to
No, I just wonder because there's a few out there, so you
That's
just sort
true.
of you get that,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's interesting. I think it's a good, even at the moment it's seven last sale being 760 for a silver prism.
So
I'd take that.
there's been a lot of talk about breaking up the Celtics and all this type of stuff. I'm the complete opposite about that. I think hold that team together. They're still young. He's
I don't
he's
look,
25 years old.
the only problem is, and this is more of a financial problem than anything, they've got to pay Tatum and Brown a
Sure.
lot of money.
They've
And
definitely
I
got
agree, they've got to do
some
that
cap mechanics to work out, and they've got some roster things to improve. I'm not
for
saying that,
sure.
but
Yeah.
to stand here and say, "Oh, you need to break up Tatum and Brown," that to
Nah.
me is nonsense. Like, they're 25 years old. Look at the teams that's still in the final or still remaining, and also in the conference finals to a degree. There's a
Yeah.
lot of continuity there, and I think Denver is now like the shining star of continuity. I think, Golden State has now been that.
Yeah,
Miami also has a lot of continuity. I think give these guys, more time, build around them. He's
hmm
25. He's not even in his peak yet. 28 to 30s NBA
agreed.
players peak. Don't blow it up now. Um, and keeping that thought in your head, I think if Tatum does slide, which I think we've already
Yeah,
illustrated that's happening, and you're a believer, I think just
yeah,
hold tight and look for a bargain this offseason.
yeah, for sure.
Just
And
a matter of time.
it's
Yep.
it's interesting. That's all I'll say. Interesting.
So
How
before we,
quickly Celtics fans jump off the bandwagon.
well, I think in those instances, I would actually say they're more flippers than Celtics
Yeah,
fans. That will be probably my guess.
yeah, fair.
What about Jaylen Brown? Talk to me about that.
I'm a true believer when it comes to Jaylen Brown. I think this man is criminally underrated.
Yeah. So PSA
Um,
10 is sitting at $290 at the moment. Actually, that seems pretty nice to me. He's
yeah,
down 11% the last 3 months. The last month, he's down 50% actually.
it's so tempting, isn't it?
Because Jar's sitting around that. We probably should comp Jar at the moment too, just to have a look at these two. So the last time I looked at Jar, he was sitting at the $400 mark.
God, I'm having. Sorry, I'm. You know when I click on the silver prism and I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I'm like, I wonder what the green prism is. Don't just
Tell us that.
nice.
Don't be like
Last
that.
sold 630. It's a beautiful looking card, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's good. I think this year is my color match year. I just like color matches. I'm obsessed.
It's your
Anyway,
thing.
it's become a thing.
Okay, so Ja Morant is now at 370. He's down 35% the last month. So I mean, look, I'm almost happy to say that those two cards are the same price. You
Yeah,
can have Ja Morant at 370, or you can have Jaylen Brown at 315.
I will take Jalen. Oh, will I? I don't
What do
know.
you get? Well, which card do you want, Ad?
I've got a jar.
Okay.
Brown. Wow. I actually no. I'm more of a jar true believer. So I'll if you can do me a deal and do jar at the same price as Jalen Brown, I'll take a jar.
I think if you wait a little bit longer, that will probably
Oh,
fall
that will
into
be a
your lap.
reality.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I just something tells me that the Ja Morant story or the Ja Morant saga has only just begun, and I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a crossroad coming, and yeah, I'm hoping that he pulls his finger out. Anyway, this isn't the Ja Morant.
So what you just said is actually correct. So Adam Silver recently put a tweet out or a media release to say they've got enough information to now move forward with their investigation and their consequences. But with respect to the people in the finals, they're going to hold that back. And
Yeah.
I got to say, especially
Mm.
after that nonsense with LeBron James and the Denver Nuggets,
Yeah.
I think that's a very respectful thing of Adam Silver to do. So
Yeah.
A+ to you, sir.
Yeah.
So I think the other people we need to talk about quickly in the losers section is Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Reeves, Hachimura. I think is probably the four we should just really quickly brush on.
Can I just touch on the LeBron thing? That's
Yeah.
just narrative nonsense. He's just pissed. He lost the game. He lost the series. He got swept. He's not going to retire. He's LeBron James. He's still hungry for a championship. And at the end of the day, if his son says it's okay, he wants to play with him. LeBron's not going anywhere, right?
I don't care.
Sour grapes. It's not going to impact his hobby value.
Oh no, definitely
the man
not.
has scored the most points in NBA history.
His resume is written. Yeah, the most playoff points.
And it doesn't matter what he does in year 21 because the book has been written. Is everyone talking about did the Wizards hurt Jordan's legacy? I don't think so.
It depends who you talk to, right?
Yeah, true. That's the bit that
I don't think so though. My personal opinion is no.
Anthony Davis, that man showed a lot in the playoffs this year.
Silver PSA 10 last sold for 1,700 on his rookie card.
Buy, hold, sell.
Jeez. Look, I personally think that's high, and particularly from what we've seen, like with other cards, what's going on at the moment. Like, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Pop 33 on that. Look,
and it's from an era where the you know what I mean. The sets are not rampant. Like they're not highly available. They're not 20,000 pop counts of the base card. It's
no, that's super low pop, isn't it?
Yeah. It's incredibly low. So yeah, 1750, interesting, and it's down. It is down over the last 6 months. 6 months ago, you could get that. You would have to pay $3,000 for that card
Yeah, right.
in a PSA 10. So I don't know. I worry with Anthony Davis. I've called him Anthony Day to Davis. Bill Simmons has come out and called him Anthony every other Davis. Like what do you? I mean, and you don't get a reputation like that unless there's truth to it. And he did that. It was a yo-yo through the playoffs.
Yeah.
He did match it with Joker pretty well. Like he went up against the Joker a lot better than everybody else he's sort of played against.
Yeah.
And he's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
But if you're only going to get 40 games out of him, what does it mean? I don't know. I worry with Davis. And I feel like his injuries hurt his legacy. Card wise, if you're a Davis fan, I think you're sort of you're already on board. You've got But if you want to add to your PC, by all means, now's the time to buy by the look of it.
That price of 1,700, that doesn't scream out to me just to go buy. The thing about Anthony Davis that intrigues me is his inserts. So like Kabooms, Downtown, stuff like that. I actually think if you're looking for value for Anthony Davis, I think that's where it is to be found.
Yep.
And so I want to leave the Kaboom conversation to later on, but I've actually bookmarked an Anthony Davis Kaboom because...
Interesting.
Yeah. I genuinely think that there is like something to be had there. The one that interests me the most on the Lakers is Rui Hachimura, because he went from basically being completely forgotten in Washington to then becoming like hobby interesting. Like people were talking about him again, buying and selling. So the last 6 months, he's actually up 91%. He was up to more than $100 at one point. His last sale was now $45. So if you sort of just, flatten that graph out a little bit, it's still a very, very nice year for him. I think the real question for me is, so he's now at $45. Well, next year, will he keep, trickling in that sort of upward projection?
I think he's got potential.
If he stays on the Lakers, I think that hype is still going to be there because it's just the Lakers and
true.
That's what happens. If he goes to another team and, sort of goes back into the bench rotation again, I think that will be very difficult for him. And, $45 actually might be the ceiling.
What if he goes to a team, I don't know, that needs a power forward? We'll just say or a small, like, you know what I mean? Like that needs that support, and they've seen what he can do, and he's a main guy.
Yeah.
And
so let's say
he
goes to the Celtics.
Yep. That is, because you don't go from the Lakers to the Celtics.
The Celtics need front court help, and then he becomes a rotation piece there. I think that would be very, very, very good for him.
Yeah.
And look, I think he actually has the skills to succeed in the modern NBA. So I'm actually quite bullish on this guy. Look, I'm actually a believer of him at $44. I think that's a good buy. Yeah. I'm totally fine with that. And Austin Reeves, do you want to do him? I'll let you lead this one because
I think Austin Reeves, we haven't seen a lot. There's not much on card. There's nothing on card ladder, I don't think.
The card ladder data won't populate for a while, but it's all on eBay. And look, we've spoken about this guy the last couple of weeks.
We've spoken about it, but
it's just, for me, this is absolutely crazy.
I think, look, the man's going to get paid, and this is no insult to Austin Reeves, but I think he's getting paid on hype because he's the third or fourth guy or even fifth guy on the team.
I agree with that, but I also disagree because there were some times in that first round series where they were actually creating offense with him as a primary option.
Are you going to pay him more than $20 million a year for that privilege?
Well, he won't be the first player in the NBA to be paid that much to be a second or third option. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes. But
market...
I think there'll be buyer remorse for whichever team does overpay for him.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic role player. Don't get me wrong. He's phenomenal. And
do you think he's a starter in the league, though? I think that's the real question. The question is,
I think he's a fringe starter. So
can he defend well enough, and can he create enough offense to be a starter in the league? I actually think probably yes.
Yes, I think he can start.
Yeah,
but I do also think it's very easy to slip out of out onto the bench. Do you know what I mean? Like becomes a rotation piece.
If that's your opinion, and look, that actually feeds into my my belief. I personally think he's a stay away in the hobby.
Yeah.
I think this is so pumped up. It's just a matter of time till this guy is going to like crash.
Yeah.
And,
And I think if he goes to another team, that's when the crash happens.
that is going to be disastrous for his value because I think a lot of it is pumped up by this sort of, Lakers big market hype.
The
And so,
Caruso show.
alrighty, let's talk Kabooms. So
Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom.
we have to talk about Kabooms because they are the case hit out of Crown Royale. There's always one card out of every product that's worth getting, and Crown Royale is, you might as well just call it Kabooms. Just change the name of the product to
Kaboom
Kaboom.
Central.
Yeah. So this year they've changed it so it's not just a case hit of a base Kaboom. They've now got a numbered Kaboom. So
I was going to say, have they changed the packaging so that you can't?
So that's funny that you would say that. I don't actually follow this. I very deliberately not follow that type of stuff because I don't want that to creep into my sort of
I just
mindset.
remember when it happened.
No, so my answer is I doubt they've fixed it. There will be nothing. There will be no evidence in my mind that they would have fixed
They've
that.
leaked it.
All the boxes are serial numbered, so I
Yeah,
actually
it's true.
think every person could work out what's in each box if you had the mind and
I love it.
the motivation.
I
to do
hate it, but it's funny.
So look, my take on this gold Kaboom is that this is one of the most important cards maybe of our generation. And the analogy I'm going to create here is the precious metal gems. I
like this rabbit hole.
Yeah, so I think Panini tried to do that, tried to copy the precious metal gems in Elite with those reds and greens numbered. And there was a blue in there too, wasn't there? And actually,
Yeah.
they're very nice looking cards, but the
Yeah.
market didn't pick up on those and the market didn't believe in it enough. So, when we talk about cards that matter now and then matter in 20 years' time, I think Kabooms are important, but I think these gold numbered Kabooms are going to be the card in 20 years' time that people are still going to be chasing and collecting. And so Card Ladder this week did a spotlight on a precious metal gem, a Charles Barkley, a PSA 8.
Yeah.
It sold for $31,200. So when we say, these cards matter, blah, 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 how do you quantify that? Well, I think that's a really, really easy and, great example. PSA 8, 30 grand. So people are selling the LeBron Raw numbered to 10 at the moment for $50K. And
how?
Again, this is a fantasy world that I'm living in, but if I had a spare $50K, I actually think that's a very good buy. So let's just use that. Let's direct comp a Raw to a Barkley precious metal gem 8, PSA 8, 31,000. Like the maths there is so easy to demonstrate and work out. It's just not funny. So even if you send that LeBron off to PSA and you get back an 8, it has to be at least 60,000 or 70,000.
You're literally just
moving into the future. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's crazy. Crazy.
I'm very, very bullish on this. Now, I'm stealing this next piece from Ados Utra, so I am crediting you, Ados, but I'm also going to steal your thought bubble here. So Ados was talking in our group chat, and basically he was saying, what does this now do to the base Kabooms? Does it destroy the market on that? And to a degree, I say yes, but to a degree, I also say no. I still think there's still a case hit. There's still going to be demand for them, but instead of them being the top shelf Kaboom, they're now not the top shelf Kaboom. Now the gold is. I think that's the one that people.
The gold's at what? Number to 10 though.
Yeah, but it takes that money out of the regular Kaboom and puts it into the golds. Do you know what I mean? So I think.
Does it?
Well, yeah, because the people that were spending the big bucks, they're not going to now spend the big bucks on the base Kaboom. They're going to take those dollars and put it into a gold.
So if I've got if I've seen and I was eyeing, say, a Kobe Kaboom for say
sure.
$3K. I didn't say looked at it and it's $3K now.
Yeah.
There were no gold ones when that came out, but do you think that deflates the market? If they release another one where there's a Kobe and a gold Kobe, God, that would anyway. There's more than 10 Kobe collectors. I think people will still buy the silver. I still think
they're still going to be collected.
The silvers will be the $3,000 card, but the golds will be the $90,000 card.
Yeah.
Do
But
you-
I'm saying, let's just pretend for a second, though, that $90,000 wasn't there. So then would the people that had that 90K then be bidding more on the base? That's what I suppose I'm trying to say. Yeah. Or would that then push
Mm.
the base a bit?
I reckon the 90K people are bidding on something else.
Yeah. They're not in our stratosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
they probably already have the base one and have paid 90 grand for the. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they've probably splashed 5 grand on the base
Yep.
and gone, I'll splash 100K on the gold.
Yep. You're right.
Because I tell you what, I've there's been times where I've thought about a Kobe for like 2.5 to 3K. I haven't pulled the trigger, and if there was a gold one for $100,000, I can't afford that. I'd still be buying the silver.
Yeah. And that, again, Panini's done that so
Yeah.
well, haven't they? They've created those price points for
Yeah.
people to jump
And there
into.
are there are different markets within the hobby, certainly. Like there's definitely
So Anthony Davis Excalibur Kaboom. This is from
Yep.
2016.
I like Excalibur. That was a great set.
It was a great set. No one's going to care about Excalibur cards, though. They'll definitely care about Kabooms.
This is true. This
Yeah.
is true.
PSA 9 sold for $196.
Yes, I saw that.
I think there is a lot of value in that card. I think that is one of the best purchases that I've seen for a very, very long time. A Raw is selling for the same price. So the question is, do you want the more safe bet, which is the PSA 9, or do you buy the Raw and then send it off to PSA yourself and see what you can get back? Look, probably the Raw is the better buy.
I get the Raw and send it off.
Yeah. That's like a bit more fun. You could get an 8.
It's the 8, 9, 10 game. Whatever.
That's right. So look, I think that is, that is insane. So I think talking about Anthony Davis before, sort of, tying this back in full circle.
Yep.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And a lot of Anthony Davis stuff. Cornerstones, Downtown card 330.
Yeah.
2018 Kaboom 250.
That's interesting.
I think that's, definitely worth looking at. Look, I think any Kaboom that you pick up and put into your collection is just money well spent and will matter in the future.
It's going to be funny. We're going to have all of our segues this week. I'm going to ask because I've popped pocket change into the run sheet. Can we do pocket change next?
Sure, mate. Let's go.
Sweet. All right. So I'm just going to get the. I love it how we've got listeners that just randomly put a photo up for pocket change.
Just make content for us.
Ryan Jewell has not even a day ago popped up, and this is the I want to show off some pocket change. So up goes the image. And immediately here comes the comment, stoked with my pocket change this week. On card RJ Barrett, RJA, not RPA, to 99, 13 USD. Could not say no.
See, Ryan has an attention to detail. It's not a rookie patch auto, it's a rookie jersey auto.
Jersey auto, and he's spot on. Could have been using, they could have used a blue jersey, just to say, anyway. But that's a sweet pickup. What was that? 13 US.
That is a home run. Congratulations, Ryan. That's beautiful.
That is brilliant. Hang on. I am trying to look at all of the comments. Where are we? Lachlan Blunt getting involved. 21-22. National Treasures. Jalen Suggs rookie patch.
That is ridiculous. $1.75.
$1.75. He probably paid $30 shipping because it's from the States, but
that is ridiculous, isn't it?
That is insane.
Yeah.
And that is a nice little patch there too. Wow. What else have we got? Oh, 99 cents for a Jimmy Butler.
So die cuts are a real funny one. Like that's numbered to 249, but there is an element of collectors out there that consider die cuts to be half a card. So
it's also impossible to grade the damn things.
Yeah. If you're looking at buying short printed cards that are overlooked and you're on a budget, that is a very good place to search. Yeah.
And you can find Jimmy Butler for 99 cents.
Crazy.
That's nuts. All right. Did you want to take the next one?
Yeah, sure. So Jimmy Buckets, again, this is from Lachlan Blunt. 7 out of 88 on the Mosaic. $1.25. Beautiful. Anthony Milne with this RJ Barrett from 1-1. 12 out of 25.
Nice.
$5. Yeah, look, those any card that you get from 1-in-1, irregardless of the player, if you can get them for less than $10, I say buy them because they're the type of cards you get them in your hands and you can feel the quality and they're just
Yeah.
enjoyable to own. Honestly, like I've got a few that I probably lost money on them and I'm never going to be able to sell them and blah 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 blah. But they're just damn nice cards. They come encapsulated, the whole thing. It's just great. Yeah.
All
Alrighty.
right. Christos Corrales, £5
What's that?
posted.
Around $10.
This is the first time I've seen pounds used on Pocket Change. Anyway, so it's about $10. $10, I think.
Impeccable base number to 75.
Yep, base
Beautiful.
75 of is that Halliburton?
Absolutely.
Nice, very nice. What else have we got?
Oh god.
99 cents for a Trey Young.
So that is the select retail holo.
Yeah. Is it? Hang on. BGS. Oh, sorry. Yeah, BGS 9.5.
You would cry, wouldn't you? So you've spent $30 to get it graded, and
someone bought it for
$1
plus $7.25 postage. You are not recouping your money there.
You are not.
I think that was a get it out of my sight sale by the seller. Come on, 99 cents. Good, nice work by Andrew though, picking that one up. What else has he picked up? Jalen Johnson rookie ticket, $4.25.
Beautiful.
Nice auto there. I think that's a sticker auto. Is it the Contenders or is I don't know. I can't see from the image, but still $4.25 for an auto.
Perfect.
That's insane. What is the world coming to? Jay Bron, Marketplace, $20. A Giannis rookie from Hoops.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know what a Hoops Giannis rookie goes for these days.
So I'm a little bit of a skeptic here. I feel like Marketplace is so full of scams these days. I wouldn't even look at it. But like, here's an example of
someone that got their trimming kit out, got their hoop. No, anyway,
actually got good value out of it.
Yeah, $20 for a Giannis rookie. Beautiful, beautiful value. What else have we got? Jeez, there's a bit this week, isn't there?
It's a heap this week, yeah.
And this is in less than 24 hours. Just good timing. Who have we got? It's your boy.
My boy.
De'Aaron Fox, which grabbed this along with a numbered clay insert and a purple select 9. It's numbered to 99 Oladipo rookie card and a 3 for $20 value box.
Great.
On the Gold Coast at a market.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's great.
Very nice. What have we got? Kevin Knox, jersey auto.
These last four all from James Gregory, so thanks, James, for chucking these up, mate.
And yes, your pocket change did make the episode. I saw you in the chat saying you hoped that your pocket change made it, and yes, it did.
We're in, yeah.
Kevin Knox, rookie jersey auto. Is it rookie or just a jersey auto? I don't think it's a rookie. Not sure.
No.
$11 though.
Great.
What have we got? Marvin Williams.
So that's his PC. So that's a PC pickup for him.
$3.
Beautiful.
$10 from eBay for a Marvin Bagley PSA 9. Nice.
So look, these next two, the Bagley and the Knox, I'll put these into the same sentence. This is NBA prospecting, hoping that a high draft pick is going to come good. And
it's buying Markelle Fultz on the dip, right?
Yeah. And look, I got to say, I've actually bought more Bagley than I'd care to admit. And I'm feeling very pessimistic about these purchases.
But as far as pocket change goes, if you're going to get a graded card for $10, it's good pocket change.
Oh, no. Look, even if it tanks, right? It's going to tank from $10 to $5. You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But God.
You feel sorry for the poor person that paid like $50+ to send it off for grading.
Man, Bagley at one stage was going for hundreds.
Yeah.
Because remember, that was in the middle of like that pandemic.
The crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then, the last one is another $10 steal, the Kevin Knox Red Ice. Yeah.
Beautiful.
PSA 9. Beautiful. I've actually got a little bit. This is
talk to us, Dad.
Because you were talking about the Kabooms. Now, this is not pocket. Well, I'm going to categorize this as pocket change.
It's not pocket change. Don't be like that.
So I'll rip it open now. I bought this on one of the New Zealand collector pages.
Yeah, sure.
$150 New Zealand, which I'm sure when we do the conversion to Australian dollars, is just under 50. So that goes onto pocket change this week. And while we're taking the out of the Kiwis, shout out to our friends at the Card Codex. Yeah, inviting me to the group. I've made a purchase from one of the people selling a couple of Kobe's. So that card arrived yesterday.
Beautiful.
And yes, so I think I might have been a bit off with the exchange rate, but
Just a little bit, but let's not.
I'm sure there'll be a time where it's worth 50 Australian. What's the
the
point?
truth get in the way of a good story.
Exactly right. I'm just doing my best John O'Michael's impression and just showing my pocket change.
I say. Alrighty, 2 more things and we're done. Our friend Eric White back again. I can't go buy this stuff. So the most expensive Nikola Jokic card all time, 61,200. The most expensive Zion Williamson card of all time, $594,000.
That didn't age well, did it?
No, it did not. So,
God.
So I think this is my take on this is, like, clearly we went through some crazy times.
Wow.
But also, too, there's some things in the hobby that just don't make sense. And you can't explain it to people why they don't make sense. But some things just don't make sense in this hobby. So you do have to navigate this based on your own beliefs. And I think that if you had the opportunity to buy that Nikola Jokic card at 60 grand, you'd think that's just now the most wonderful purchase that you've ever done. And then on the flip side, if you did buy that Zion at nearly $600,000, you'd be.
You know what? If you pay $600,000 for a card, I reckon you've got enough money to not worry about it. Surely.
Look, I don't know. I'm only imagining what it would feel like to be in that position.
But I don't think I could.
I think you would, even if you didn't.
It stings. Don't get me wrong. It stings.
No, you would care to some degree. There's no way you couldn't not care. But yes, I agree with you. You must have that money to lose. But yeah, it's just. I actually find this hard to talk about.
Yeah, it's
so difficult. You look at this.
I just can't fathom it.
Yeah, that's right. How do you explain this to people? A 2-time MVP.
Give it a bit of future pricing, and you never know. I think they'll probably flip.
I mean, the irony of this too is that the Joker is 1 of 1.
Yeah,
the design is 99. Like, it's so undescribable, isn't it?
Yeah. That's 99 times 600K. That's a lot of money. No, they all graded like that. Oh my god, yeah. But it is. They're different times, and yeah, it's of all time most expensive one sold. So I think the Jokic that will always be the most expensive Zion. I think. I don't think he's going to resurrect his career to that extent. I think he can salvage something, but it ain't going to get back to that. Whereas Jokic, there's still upwards.
That will trickle up, I think.
Yeah, I think history will show that goes up.
I think the only thing about this card that I think we need to probably mention is there's no reason for that card to come back on the market anytime soon.
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you sell that?
That's the last transaction we're seeing of that for a very long time.
For 20 years, right? That's what it should be.
Yep.
I think that's the type of card. I talk about cards that I'm putting away for my kids, and
Yeah.
But I think that's something you put away into the the family heirloom sort of status. Like, that's just
I agree.
Monster. All right, really, really quickly, what is your take on the Panini break-in?
What Panini break-in?
Oh, their offices got broken into and burgled. So my take on this is that years ago, this is when I was a young fella.
Is this how cards that were never redeemed started to come out?
Before children. No, it only happened this week, so it's
okay.
I don't think that the implications are known yet. But did you know the museum in Egypt is uncatalogued? So the issue that they were having there was people would go in there and steal stuff, and the curators at the museum actually wouldn't know. So they had this huge push a few years back to actually go through and catalog everything because for some reason nothing was cataloged. So I'm going to put it to you that Panini's bookkeeping is going to be equal to the Egyptian Museum's curators as of 20 years ago, and I don't think they even know what's got stolen from them.
I reckon you're right.
That's my hot take.
And you know what? Do you know what the higher ups at Panini have said? Don't really care. Because guess what's happening in 2 years? We don't own any of this anymore.
So The other thing I've heard about Panini is they actually run on quite a light staffing.
Mm.
And I read a lot of people's comments online saying, why isn't there 24-hour security a day there? I don't think they spend their budget on those types of things. So actually,
Yeah.
when you think about it, the
Yeah.
fact that they've not been broken into before is kind of a miracle because cards get stolen
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
So
true.
why wouldn't you just go to the source?
Yeah. Agreed.
Final thoughts on that, Ed?
Probably long overdue. Somebody. Jeez, if we knew the security was that poor at Panini, could have gone on a holiday to the States. And I am kidding, by the way. Just
All right. Last run point on the sheet for this week. It is AJ Griffin. This is some deep dive on prospecting for you all to put into your eBay bookmarks and have a look at this guy.
oh my god.
19 years of age. The youngest players to shoot 45% on field goals, 38% from three, and 90% on free throws are AJ Griffin, Steph Curry, Trae Young, Desmond Bain, and Kevin Durant. He is the youngest player in that list by 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
So if we talk about NBA prospecting, I think this is the type of guy that you start to go out and look, don't buy heavy on this dude. I'm not saying go out there and spend $5,000, but just pick up a
Get
couple
some
of things.
selective pieces.
Go onto eBay, see if you can get a couple of bargains. Like for example, $7.58 Donruss Optic Orange, numbered to 199, something numbered.
That's what I was about to say. Numbered cards. This is where you pick up numbered bargains, right?
Or Revolution autograph to 100, 97 out of 100, $20.
Geez, that's great.
Just a nice little.
Now that's the way to spend your pocket change.
Yeah. AJ Griffin, Don Russ rated rookie card number to 75. Again, autograph. It's a sticker autograph, but it's a nice looking card. $16.50. Something for your mind space. Low end NBA prospecting, 19 years of age. Age matters. This is the counter argument to your Caleb Martin. You're saying 28 is too old. 19 years of age.
Get on board.
Just one or two.
Well, even you get one or two, all he needs to do in his career is have a spike game, right? He just has that Ferrugia factor game.
Yep.
Where he goes off and hits.
Look, that type of shooting, he'll be in a rotation.
Yeah.
It's the way the league is going.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Thank you everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
It was an interesting one. NBA Finals. Get around it if you get the opportunity. Let's see those Joker prices going through the roof when he wins Finals MVP to go with his Western Conference MVP, and the fact that he didn't win the actual MVP, which is still a sore point because he should be a 3-time MVP.
Do you reckon? You think he got robbed?
I don't know. It's a regular season award. I know, and I'm not taking away from Embiid. This is the year of the Joker. Emphatic. Anyway, good luck to the Miami Heat, but I think you're outmatched. Anyway.
See you guys.
See you guys next week.